Good afternoon, future colleagues. Thank you for coming today, for those of you who could be here, and for those of you who are viewing via our streaming, thank you for tuning in for this. I'm so pleased to be here today for the Graduate School Welcome Orientation and Reception. My name is Stephanie Simon-Dack, the Associate Dean of the Graduate School, and the person who has been sending you all of those emails. It is my great pleasure to introduce you first to the Dean of the Graduate School, Dr. Adam Beech.
Hi, everybody. I'd say it's a really good idea to not ignore emails from Stephanie Simon-Dack. So yes, my name's Adam, and I've been the Dean of the Graduate School for 2 years. And before that, I was the Assistant Chair and then Chair of the English Department for 8 years. So this is the start of my 18th year at Ball State, and I'm just really thrilled to be here and to be the Dean of the Graduate School. I see being the Dean as a chance to give back to my profession and to our students. Others work tirelessly to help me achieve my dreams of earning master's and doctorate degrees, and I'm so excited to be in a position where I can help our graduate students to pursue advanced degrees and work towards their goals. I still marvel at the fact that I had an opportunity to earn a PhD at all. I grew up in a working class family in Flint, Michigan, and neither of my parents went to college. My dad worked in a factory his whole life, and he wanted me to have other possibilities for mine. I remember him coming home and his hands would just be all beat up. He's like, "You don't want to work like this." My mother's mother was the daughter of Lebanese immigrants to the US, and she did not even finish high school. And her mother was illiterate. When things got tough in graduate school for me, I thought back on the trajectory of my family's experience in America, and this really helped push me through. I was determined to take advantage of this opportunity that was given to me, an opportunity that was not available to previous generations of my family, and I was determined to finish those degrees. I'm sure many of you have similar sources of inspiration, and I hope you will hold on to those as you embark on this fantastic educational adventure that lies before you. Looking out at all of you today brings back so many memories for me, starting both my MA program at Ohio State and my PhD at SUNY Buffalo. I'll never forget the absolute thrill of receiving my acceptance to both programs. Luckily, I had great funding and a great assistantship. I still feel so privileged to have had this opportunity to focus on a field that I loved and to work with such wonderful faculty at both institutions. I hope that you have the same kind of experiences at Ball State. I know our faculty are dedicated to your success, and our programs are structured around giving students that personal feedback and attention that they need to succeed. That's one of the things I really love about Ball State. We are student-centered. We are fairly big, but we're still fairly small, and our faculty really see it as their job to help our students. Now I want to share with you a few things that I wish I would have known before I started graduate school. The first is that graduate school is really, really, really hard, and it's supposed to be. And I'll share an embarrassing detail with you. I earned a B plus in my very first quarter of my master's program at Ohio State from probably one of the top faculty at that program. And I was told when I started graduate school, like, if you get a B, you're kind of like not doing a very good job, and the faculty are telling you that maybe you shouldn't be here. So the B plus to me was a real shock. I was a straight A student in college. I went to a small college in Michigan, but I quickly realized that I had some catching up to do with the expectations of the faculty at Ohio State. At an early point in that quarter, after a brutal assessment of one of my papers, I really had to make a decision to start working even harder and smarter than I was, or to abandon the master's program altogether. I tell you this just because I think probably a lot of your faculty members probably have had similar experiences. You might come here and think, oh, am I supposed to be here? Or if things are going hard, maybe this isn't for me. And I think probably all of us who've gone through a master's and a doctorate program had these moments. So, graduate school can just be one of the biggest challenges any of us face. And I think the trick is to figure out how to navigate those low moments, to develop resiliency, and to keep it all in perspective. One thing I had to do was to create a different framework for understanding my experience. And I began to think of graduate work, and especially when I was in the doctorate program, as the academic version of the Ironman triathlon. I tell my students this, I don't know if they appreciate it or not, but I think it's a good analogy. I say the coursework is like the 2-mile swim in the ocean, studying for exams is like the 100+ mile bike ride, and then of course all you have to do at the end is run a marathon, and that's the dissertation. So my dissertation students especially don't like me to say that, but I think it's kind of true. It takes discipline, hard work, and most of all, a passion and endurance to set forth and complete such a task. And I often think, like, when I watch people do those Ironmans, I always think they're kind of crazy, and sometimes I think, well, maybe a lot of us are too, who decide to go and do these advanced degrees. There's not that many of us in this country. So I felt like I had to start training as if I was going to be the academic version of an elite athlete. And again, I think people who take up these challenges, you just know there's going to be some difficulty along the way. It just comes with the territory, and it's to be expected. Somehow, though, I think the difficulty and dedication required to get these degrees makes it all the more satisfying at the finish. And I think I want to just tell you this. For me, this doesn't quite go away. Like right now, I'm trying to work on a research article, and twice this summer, I almost gave up on it. So I've been doing this now for almost 20 years, writing, publishing, and it's still hard. There's something about this intellectual work, that labor of really advanced study. It's just challenging and hard, and I don't think that goes away even for your faculty. And I was a department chair. I saw this firsthand with faculty. I don't think we talk to our students enough about the challenges that we face doing this kind of work, but it is really hard. But it's that good kind of hard. It was like, I was ready to give up on it. I was like, no, I know I can do this. And then I kind of worked through this article and got to a place where now I can see the finish line and I know I can finish it. And then you get really excited. So I think just trying to kind of pull the curtain back. It's supposed to be hard. It continues to be hard. And that's just part of it. So where you can dig into that and even enjoy it, I think you'll do well. My second thing that I wish I would have learned earlier than I did was that graduate school is really hard, so don't try to do it by yourself. I mean, I moved to Columbus, Ohio. I didn't know anybody. I had an apartment by myself for the first time. And I think for the first 8 to 10 weeks, I didn't really engage with anybody. I was so overwhelmed. All I was doing was reading and working. And I kind of realized pretty quickly that wasn't going to work for me. So I think it's really important to seek out these sources of support that we have all around you here at Ball State. Again, we're known for the attention we give to our students, and the general culture here is very student-centered. So seek out help from faculty, your program directors, other staff on campus. We have this whole resource fair here of people who are here to help you. And we're here in the graduate school to help you as well. Our whole job in the graduate school is to support programs and our students. So let us know if we can help you. And that said, I think it's also important to create your own communities of support, especially if you've moved to Muncie and you don't know people. From my own experience, One of the best things I did, which helped me in two ways, was I joined a student-led reading group after that first quarter, and that really helped me because there's all these theorists and other people that the faculty were expecting me to know that I didn't. So I was like, okay, well, why don't we all get together and read? And then it was a social thing. So we'd read and talk about books, and then we go have beer. So it was, it was a win-win. It was a way to connect to other students, to get that extra work in a community of support, and then also to have a little fun. Those academic and social experiences helped me immensely. I've also been involved in writing groups at various times in my career in graduate school. I found those immensely helpful. So there would be a group of us in a class, and we'd just say, okay, we're going to have a writing group. We're all going to look at we're going to have drafts ready 2 weeks before the paper's due, exchange them amongst each other. And I continue to do that into my faculty life, and I still do that. And those are my friends from graduate school that I still give my work to. They're still my community of support. So if you can build that here early in your program and figure out those people that you can connect with around your shared academic mission, I think that will be really helpful. My third takeaway is that graduate school is really hard, so you really take care of yourself. And this is a big push we're making in the graduate school this year. We are starting a graduate student wellness initiative. And I think this is one of the key things to being successful in graduate school. And again, it kind of took me a while to figure this out. I was sick a lot that first year that I was a graduate student. I wasn't sleeping enough. I wasn't eating particularly healthy. My exercise routine, I think, kind of went by the wayside. I had a lot of colds and sinus infections, and I don't think I really felt that great. So like those triathlon athletes, I found that I needed to keep to a fairly strict regimen in order to stay healthy and keep making progress towards my goals. So after a while, I just said exercise has to be a non-negotiable for me. And here again, I joined with others in my department. There was like a pickup basketball group in the master's program. So I was like, oh, I'm doing this. And like 2 or 3 times a week, we'd meet and play basketball. And again, it was fun. I was meeting students in the program. I was making friends. But I also just felt better because I was exercising. And then I also just made a rule for myself. And those who work with me know I still follow this to this day. I'm in bed at least 7.5 or 8 hours every night. And I just know when I don't do that, my performance just goes off the rails. So I always think my brain is like my most important asset as an academic, and if that brain is not well rested and I'm not taking care of it, I'm not going to do very well. And that just helped me so much. I'm also, I was a big proponent of naps in graduate school, so especially on those days when I was just home all day to work and write, I got on a really strict regimen when I was doing my dissertation. I just had this routine. I'd get up at 8 o'clock, I'd write till 12, then I always remember I'd jog, shower, eat lunch, watch a TV show. Back then I didn't have cable or anything, so there's just a PBS show on, probably none of you have heard of, had Judi Dench in it, called As Time Goes By. So I love that show, even though it's kind of a weird show for me to be watching, I think. I don't know if I was the main audience for it. And then I would always take a nap. Every afternoon I would take a nap, and then I'd get up and work about 3 more hours in the afternoon, get ready for the next day's writing, and then I'd call it quits. And I don't know what routine will work for you, but I just really think if you can get into a routine and you can get into that self-care, taking care of your body, taking care of sleep and things like that, it just really helps because you're going to be pushed and you need to be fresh. So those were the things that I think I learned from graduate school and I wanted to share with you today. In the end, I'd like to say that I'm just thrilled to see you all here because I feel that graduate education has never been more important. Sitting before me are the next generation of highly educated professionals. We live in a world, as you know, facing so many challenges, and it fills me with hope to see all of you here today, ready to learn and grow so that you can address those challenges and hopefully make a better world. The world needs your passion and enthusiasm for learning. The world needs your skills and knowledge. The world needs more people with your disposition. You are willing to spend years of your life learning and developing a deep knowledge of a field. And you are dedicated to developing expertise. And we know we live in a world where often expertise isn't valued. We really value expertise here. And I'm really glad to see that you all value it too. And you really want to do a deep dive and really learn a field inside and out. It's exciting. I still love it. It's one of the most exciting things to really just know a field inside and out. You understand that there are rarely easy answers and that complex problems demand complex analyses if they are to be addressed. You are ready to become those academic triathletes who can go on and make this world a better place. So I'm excited for you. Graduate school really is awesome. When I look back on it, like I said, it was really hard, but it was also one of the best things I ever did. So I'm really excited to see you here starting your journeys on your master's and your doctorate's degrees. It's a special time. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it even when it gets tough, or maybe even because it's tough. And I hope you'll make the most of your time at Ball State. Please, in the graduate school, let us know what we can do to help you. And I got to leave off with the chirp chirp. So thank you for being here.
Thank you, Adam. Adam's experiences in graduate school are the kind we at Ball State really hope you are able to have. I also experienced an incredible amount of growth and development, professional and personal, during graduate school. One of the things that I want you to understand as you take this journey is how important it will be for you to reach out and connect to others while you pursue this opportunity. The most successful students are the ones who build personal and professional connections while in graduate school. Connections with each other, with advisors, with students in other programs, and with resources on campus and online that are present to make your time at Ball State smoother. Probably the first and most fundamental resource you will have is your advisor. Your academic advisor will be the person to help make sure you are taking the right courses to complete your program, but more than that, they will be able to guide you on the choices and experiences that will lend most to your development as a professional and scholar while you are in graduate school. I also want you to know that we at the graduate school are always available to you. We can clarify policy for you, we can help you navigate requirements and rules, and we can direct you to people to talk to if you have a question that we cannot answer. Always feel free to reach out to me and to the staff of the graduate school. We also have a myriad of resources for students on campus and online of which you can take advantage. At the reception alone, you will have seen tables for the Writing Center, the university libraries, disability services, and our on-campus food pantry at the Cardinal Kitchen. Our graduate students often shout out to the Writing Center and library services as being two of their most valuable resources during their time at Ball State. Take advantage of those. But there are other resources we make available to students that you don't even think about using until the need arises. For instance, we have an incredibly involved counseling center on campus, and the health center can help to diagnose and treat simple injuries and illnesses. We also have Cardinal Closet that allows you to pick out 3 pieces of professional clothing for no cost. If you are an on-campus student, you are paying for these services through your fees. These are yours to take advantage of, and you should when you need them. Another incredible office on campus that you can take advantage of, whether you are on campus or online, is the Office of Disability Services. They are here to assist in getting the accommodations you need so that you can learn and thrive in your environment, regardless of a visible or invisible disability. We want you to succeed, and the resources at Ball State are numerous. You are paying for them, and we want you to use them. So if you have a need that isn't being met and you aren't sure how to start seeking out a resource, you can reach out to me or anyone at the graduate school, and we will connect you. I think sometimes graduate students are particularly vulnerable to social and academic isolation because you have finished your undergraduate degree, and you think now you have a sort of personal obligation to have moved beyond needing community and resources. The opposite is true. You will find the more you develop a network in the community, the more you thrive. We have writing groups on campus and online. We have student groups just for graduate students, such as the Black Graduate Student Association and the English Graduate Student Advisory Board. Furthermore, our sponsored programs administration specifically offers grants to students for travel to conferences in your field of study and for funding your creative or research project. During your time here, you might forget about all the possible resources you have access to. So if you are going to remember anything, remember that when you are stuck or unsure what to do or how to proceed with something, you should ask yourself, might Ball State have a resource for that? And then reach out to me. I'll direct you to them. Graduate school is about being in a community of scholars and professionals. You are not alone in what you seek to achieve. I am particularly pleased to announce a new program we are offering through the graduate school this year. Adam alluded to it, the Graduate School Wellness Initiative. This initiative is run by graduate students for graduate students, and you will see information posted throughout the term about resources and events offered through this new initiative, including online programming around personal wellness, as well as on-campus workshops and events. Their first event, a graduate student-only mixer, is occurring next Thursday, August 22nd, at Muncie Books and Brews from 7 to 9 p.m. No RSVP is needed, and the food will be free. Drop by and meet your wellness coordinators and other graduate students and start growing your community early. We also have one of our wellness ambassadors here today, Dabney Scott. Go ahead and stand up. There you go. She's a dual master student in sport and exercise psychology and in rehabilitation counseling. She'll be at the reception if you want to introduce yourself, and she has flyers for the mixer if you are interested. She can also talk with you more about the program. We are so very pleased to have you here attending Ball State for graduate school and pursuing your passion. I hope you will stay connected to us, to your advisor, and to the robust community of Ball State. I wish you a very successful and happy time here with us. Now I am very pleased to introduce the Associate Director for the Office of Community Education, Erin Moore.
Hi, thank you very much for having me here, and welcome to all of you. As Stephanie said, my name is Erin Moore. I'm the Associate Director for the Office of Community Engagement here at Ball State, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity. I'm going to try to let this go. Can you still hear me? Okay, good. I'm excited to have the opportunity to share a little bit about the Muncie community that those of you who live here now are now a part of, and I hope that you will see yourselves as a part of the broader Muncie community. So for a little Muncie history, for more than a century, Muncie was a thriving industrial economy. A gas boom in the late 1800s attracted many large manufacturers. There's actually a place called Gas City just up the road, up 69. It was that important. And those large manufacturers that moved here included the Ball Brothers Glass Manufacturing Company. And you can imagine why we're very grateful that they did come to Muncie back then. In the 1920s and 1930s, sociologists Robert and Helen Lind selected Muncie as the most representative of Middle America for their landmark study, Middletown, a study of American culture. Because of this, it's rumored that Muncie is one of the most studied small cities in the nation. As with many Rust Belt cities, Muncie's economy has suffered significantly with the decline of domestic manufacturing, and you can see that as you drive around Muncie. The last large factory to move out was Borg-Warner, which had been in Muncie for more than 100 years. They left in 2007. So with that has come many challenges, including the fact that more than 30% of our residents live below the poverty line, and an additional 25% are employed but struggle day to day to make ends meet. Along with many other cities across the nation, we face alarming rates of addiction, lack of educational attainment, and poor health outcomes. As someone who was born and raised in Los Angeles, I can tell you that these issues are not unique to us. But Muncie is unique in a number of really important ways. In the Sagamore Institute's 2017 Public Good Index, Muncie ranks second highest in civic involvement and highest in charitable giving among Indiana's major cities. At its core, Muncie is a city of doers and advocates, people who fight for one another, who find creative ways to overcome challenges despite limited resources. And most of them are not doing it because it's a part of their job description. They are simply passionate about this community. And they are eager to welcome anyone who has a desire to get involved. I wholeheartedly believe that you have come to Ball State University, and for those of you on campus, to Muncie, at one of the most exciting times in either's history. Ball State and Muncie are writing their next chapters together for the first time ever. Ball State faculty and students have a long history of involvement in our city and region, so this is not necessarily new, our connections. But that involvement often would flourish for a semester and then fade away as faculty and students move on to other courses and projects as they need to do. Those of us in the Office of Community Engagement and our community engaged colleagues across campus, we've really sought to learn how those efforts can have more of a lasting impact on the community that is our home. We are extremely lucky to have a president, a provost, and other university leaders who see community engagement not only as a moral obligation, but also as a valuable approach for highly effective teaching and research. So this is not an add-on to the academic pursuits of the university. This is actually a method by which we can accomplish those priorities. I really encourage you to read Ball State's new strategic plan. And under Goal 3, you'll find all of the university's new and significant commitments to Muncie and East Central Indiana. And these are in the areas of education through our groundbreaking partnership with Muncie Community Schools, the only one of its kind in the nation, economic development, population health and well-being, neighborhood revitalization, and arts and culture. We've actually heard from colleagues at other universities that they're pretty jealous about how our leadership is leaning into our role as an anchor institution and one of the region's largest employers. Our leaders understand that our universities and our communities' fortunes are inextricably linked. So perhaps it goes without saying that I hope you will find ways to connect to your community as a student, as a scholar, and as a resident. I hope you will take advantage of opportunities to experience the warmth and vibrancy of the Muncie community. Downtown Muncie is a great place to start. There are a number of popular and free events in September and October. For whatever reason, Muncie runs on Facebook. So if you want to know what's going on, go on to Facebook and search for Muncie, and you will find all of the different events that are happening around the city. As a scholar, I hope that you will see community members and partners as peers, co-educators, and mentors that are gifting you with valuable knowledge and experiences that you can't find anywhere else. I hope you will approach them with humility, respect, and a desire to do work that's mutually beneficial. It's kind of a buzzword in community engagement circles, but that you're listening to their real needs and are helping to meet those needs as you pursue your own academic goals. And remember that they probably have been asked to fill out surveys, give interviews, and participate in focus groups many times before your request. So just remember that. I also hope that you will find places to contribute your own unique perspectives, your own talents, and your passions to make this community a more diverse and beautiful place. There are so many opportunities for you to get involved, and in the Office of Community Engagement, we would love to help connect you. So just give us a call. It truly is an honor to welcome you today, and we thank you for choosing Ball State. Thanks.
Thank you, Erin, and thank you all. So we're going to be moving to the much waited for portion of our programming, which is the reception, where there is food. we all know why you come. If you can head through these doors behind me, or you can go out and around. Once you move through the food lines, you'll see that there are signs that sort of denote your program, and that will make it easier for you to find other students in your program. You'll see name tags spread throughout with some Sharpies. You can write your name down if you want and write your program down. And some of you will have your advisors present that you can connect to as well. And I look forward to getting to know you better during the reception. Thank you all very much. We'll see you.